Hey friends, it's Andy. Just want to give you an update on the CBD oil path that I've been on. It's so funny. I'm mostly known as the dog guy lately. I used to be known as the cop, the canine cop, or canine trainer now, and then I was the dog guy, and now I am. Hey Carmen, nice to see you. Hey Jake, and now when people see me, they go, hey, "You still taking that CBD oil?" Who else? Hey Richard, nice to see you. So I just want to give you a couple updates, and it still is amazing. I tried to do a live the other day out of Prescott, Arizona, but my internet connection, my hotel was horrible, and the sound was just horrific. So I couldn't get it out there. Hey Sanchez, yes, fantastic, sleeping fantastically. Wake up in the middle of the night, go to the bathroom, go right back to sleep, which is incredible. Usually if I'm up, that's it. I'm up for the rest of the day. I've had a couple court cases I've testified in. Fantastic. I just wish, I wish there was some negative stuff I could tell you right now. The only negative that I have for you, though, is that I have some family members who are fighting me on it because they really have this thought that it has to do with smoking marijuana or all the THC. It is really, I mean, if you just go on the internet and do a couple Google searches, you'll see that everybody's saying, no, it's not. You have, and some people are making the mistake of talking to their Kaiser doctors. I bring up Kaiser because that's my Kaiser. And the Kaiser doctor's saying, well, I can't recommend it. It's, there's no proof. And I'm saying, okay, maybe you're right. And there is a little disclaimer that I'm going to put on here that says that this is not FDA approved and all that kind of stuff. That is true. But I'm telling you, if it was dangerous, you would definitely not, you'd be hearing about that, right? If it wasn't having results, you would not see and hear from people that are telling me all the time how much it's helping them. Oh, Jake, thanks. Jake, one of the guys, I'm getting testimonials from all kinds of people. So Jake here, I wish I could put this up, but I can't put it up because I'm not using Be Live. I'm just going live from Facebook. But I've gotten terrific results myself, sleeping very well now, and no more back pain for me in just 4 days. I love this. It just gave me the chills. All right. So that makes it worthwhile that I came on and have taken a ribbing from some people saying, oh, you're taking that marijuana stuff. Literally, I mean, it's not good. I had a complete argument with a former family member, if you know what that means. And it was not good. It was not a good discussion. And I'm so thankful that the best, take Andy's advice. Thank you, Richard. Another one and again, it's not going to help everybody. I know that it's not possible. I don't think. If it does, then fantastic. I know that there's probably other mitigating factors. There's other stuff going on in your life or whatever that for whatever reason, it's not helping that thing. But if you give it enough time, I believe if you give it enough time, there's going to be other things. Like the things that's helping me with are not necessarily the things that I started taking it for. I got diagnosed with, that little bit of cancer, prostate cancer, which in most cases is not that big of a deal, but could be, right? That's why I go, I want to take something to maybe hopefully help with that. Everything else that I'm getting from it, the sleep, the lower blood pressure, the no anxiety whatsoever, the energy levels, as you can tell maybe from these videos that I have a lot of energy, the ability to think faster. If you hear me kind of thinking about stuff, it's because I can't, it hasn't necessarily helped me with my memory of stuff, but processing, I've been able to launch a new product and create the graphics for it and do so much more in a shorter period of time while traveling, while taking care of 4 kids. I still take care of my oldest once in a while, but it is all the things, all the positive side effects have overwhelmed me. And again, hearing from Jake, it makes it worthwhile coming on, telling you about it, that it helped Jake. And Richard says that it's a positive thing. Just hearing that's fantastic. Rick Razier is here in Missouri with me and says hi. Hey, Rick. Nice to see you. I have a story. I'm trying to remember. I think there was a story with Rick with my police dog back in the day, and I can't remember what it was. But there's something that just triggered in my head when I heard Rick's name. Maybe he was there when my dog did something. Maybe if Rick remembers, I'm not sure. Was it Rick on that guy that ran into the apartment on, I forget what street that was. It wasn't Temple. It was another street. Was that you, Rick? That my dog, the door got slammed in your face and my dog caught up to you? I can't remember if it was Rick or not, but for some reason that just, when I heard Rick's name on here from Paul, that was Rick. It was in the canyon somewhere. But anyway, sorry, sidetrack, squirrel. And so some great stuff. I'm so glad that Jake came on and Richard comes on and talked about it in a positive way, because there'd be no reason for me to come on and tell you about it if I did not think that it was good for you, something that's ailing you. And I wanted to share, let me see if I can do that. You know what's so funny? And now I know why I don't go live from Facebook, because a minute ago I was able to share my screen and now suddenly I can't share my screen. Son of a gun, I was going to show you. Oh, all right. I'm going to come back later this afternoon, because now I can't show you. Hold on, I'm looking around to see if Facebook will allow me to do this somewhere else. Son of a gun, how is that possible? How can you share your screen in the middle of a broadcast? All right, so now I know not to do that again. I had checked to see if I could share my screen on a testimonial, because I wanted to show you. The results on this lady's hands who had this really bad, what's it called? It is called palmar plantar psoriasis on her hands. She has dry, cracked, sore skin on her hands and feet. The skin often peels right off. She has tried biologic shots, steroid shots, light treatment, every cream imaginable. All right, so what I want to tell you about this argument I had yesterday with this former member of my family is that she went to the doctor, because I told her, I said, listen, we should probably start giving this to somebody in our family, that it might help. So she or he goes to the doctors and says, hey, what do you think of the CBD oil? And the doctor says, oh, I can't recommend that, and blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. And what's funny is that up to this point, this person has been against, all of the booster shots and any shots that you should be giving kids. She doesn't want to give the kids any of these kinds of shots, her kids any of these shots, and is totally against that. But yet, when I suggested something like CBD oil for psoriasis on this person's body, the doctor says they can't recommend it, and then there's no proof, and I would never give it to a person for that kind of thing, and got this whole thing. And I'm saying, but she says, it's not for that. And I'm saying, I'm seeing testimonials. I have people that I know that are seeing a change in their the psoriasis and all the other type of skin, other types of skin ailments. I can't say all of them, but a couple other that it really seems to be helping, and that let's see if it helps. I mean, what's the issue? And so this very testimonial that I got, I'm sorry, I'm trying to be cryptic, and I'm not being very good at being very cryptic, but I'm seeing the pictures of this hand, and I wanted to show them to you. But in the Facebook app for going live, it's not allowing me to do that. So I'm going to come back, because I don't want you to think that I'm pulling your leg, but you see this cracked, red, nasty hand. And then the 3 days later, because on Sunday, 3/11, she took the first picture, which is nasty, red, and cracked. And then on 3/13, the hand looks like my hand, just smooth and I do work hard, so there are calluses on there, but that's not cracked. But you see this hand perfectly fine with just a little bit left, and probably will go fairly shortly. So that's one of them. And then I had another testimonial here, and let me find it. That the same thing with the blood pressure, which is so odd that you could be talking about one thing and talking about cracked and peely hands 1 second, and the next minute you're talking about how it's reduced somebody's blood pressure. Where did that lady's testimonial go? I'm so sorry. That's what a kitten. We were talking about cats the other day on the Falco Canine Academy page. Okay, so I just took my blood pressure, and it's way down to what it was at times, from 160 over 105 down to 119.74. I feel my health is so much better. Hold on, it's I lost my place. Not only is the pain okay, so I have been taking the HempWorks CBD oil now for a month. Not only is my pain almost gone to the point I am off the pain pills and sleep aids, I am sleeping so much better. My eczema is way better. I have had high blood pressure than the doctors wanted, and then it goes down from 160 over 105 to 119 over 74. So just in those testimonials, it's fantastic. So I just wanted to share with you a little bit about what's going on. Again, I wanted to do it the other day, but the sound was horrific. Matthew came on and said, "Stop." It's horrific sounding. Shonda, yes, Shonda, I wish I could tell you for sure it will help. But I know people who have said that it helps with their psoriasis. So, I have not found anything that talks about negative side effects. I've heard some people get a little bit uneasy stomach as it's detoxing their bodies. I didn't have any of that. I don't know if Jake did or anybody else, but I've not talked to anybody that's taken it since I've been using it that says that has upset their stomach. But there has been some postings where it can kind of make you a little bit nauseous because it's cleansing your body of some things that need to be cleansed from. Again, I did not have that, but other than that, it's all natural, especially Hemp Works, which is what I'll put the link in there, which I almost forgot. Just go here and you can oops, only got part of it. Hold on. And so I would go ahead and just do your research, look into it. I believe it is been fantastic for what it is that I've been doing. Again, the testimonials that I'm getting from people have been fantastic. What Jake just talked about, how it's helping him, sleeping much better. The sleep alone, right? If it only, again, I talked about this a lot. If it only helped me with my sleep like it has, I'm sold. The lowered blood pressure, the no longer pre-diabetic diagnosis, and all the other stuff that I talked about earlier is just icing on the cake. And then now I'm getting testimonials from people that are using it based on what they've taken action after watching one of my Facebook lives is just like even better. That's even better than it helping me. If I was able to send some people in a direction where I was able to give them some relief in whatever was ailing them, and for whatever reason I had a slight hand in it. I have nothing to do with making the oil. I have nothing to do with anything like that, but that you got the information you needed from me makes it all worthwhile. And so I see Christy just jumped on, and Nikki. And so Robert Block is on here. Jay, hey, Jay, I was just going to contact you because I'm going to get some more information about your event you got coming up for masterminds. If you want a guy who knows a ton about masterminds and is teaching many people to create very lucrative mastermind groups, Jay Fizet is the person you need to talk to. I better get that right, as I've already interviewed him once, and I'm going to have to interview him again in the near future. I better get his name right. Hey, Ed. Hey, my brother just joined me. How cool is that? But taking the CBD oil is just it's something that it really is an incredible thing, and I wouldn't believe it if I didn't experience it myself, because it really is hard to believe that one thing can do so many things for you in a positive way. But it really does seem to be one of those things that just happens to work. Again, you're going to see a disclaimer that I can't make a bunch of claims that it's going to necessarily help you, because it may not do squat for you. But I doubt it, because I have yet to have somebody say it didn't do something. Again, what I bought it for and started using it for was for the cancer, and everything else. Who knew it was going to help with all the other stuff? I still don't know if it's even helping the cancer. I have my next biopsy coming up very shortly. It would be great, but let's say nothing happens with the cancer. I'm still going to continue to take it because of all the other benefits that I have from it, and so we'll continue with that. All right, so Richard and Paul and Lori and then Rick. You never told me, yes, your dog bit Rick. Your memory is working. I wish I could show you that comment. Yeah, so here's the thing, right? And so I don't know if I want to share all the details, but we are trying to arrest this combative suspect. And another officer somehow got his baton taken away from him. And when that happened, I think I either popped my door and called my dog out, or I had my dog in a down or somewhere. My dog was present. And at the moment I saw the guy take the stick, my dog came in and bit the suspect, right? We were able to get the baton away from the suspect. very violent suspect. And then either when I took the dog off, he got up and ran. I'm trying to remember all the details now. It'll come back to me as I think about it more, but it was just Rick's name triggered the memory. But the guy, either the guy or the second suspect, I believe there were two suspects. The other suspect, who was also combative, he gets up and runs, and Rick goes after him. I have my dog, so I begin chasing after the suspect behind Rick. The guy gets to his apartment, and as he gets in, and Rick is going to go inside the apartment, the guy slams the door on Rick's face. And of course, my momentum carries me into Rick's bottom, and the dog latched on. I'm so sorry I'm laughing now, because it wasn't fun back then, and got a hold of Rick. One of my only accidental bites on a police officer in my entire career. So I am sorry, Rick, that happened to you, but it's obviously a memory that's in there in my head, and I won't share any more details. But I'm so sorry that my dog bit you on that particular day. But I think we eventually got the guy into custody, and everybody was arrested, so that was pretty good. All right, so Christy Duran, how much are you taking now? I am down to, I take 5 drops in the morning, 5 drops in the evening. And I'm probably going to stay there until after. I've been thinking about going back up to 10. And that really is only for, in the hopes that somehow it has an effect on the cancer. All right. And so that's why I've been thinking maybe I should just stay at 10. I've been sharing it with my daughter. That's a whole nother story. And I will share that someday. It's good, but it's also bad. Nothing with the CBD oil on her. It has to do with somebody else. So anyway, I'll share it later. It's not, again, nothing horrible happened to my daughter. She is fine. But it's just a story I can't tell right now. So Christy, I'm thinking going up to 10 only because I wanted to see how it affects that. And I actually been thinking about going to 15, maybe, putting a lot in there may help with the cancer. So that's not probably going to help you with what you may have decided to take it for. But I hear everything from 1 drop to, I think, 20 drops. I'm hearing everything in between there. So it really is taking it until, I think, really taking it in an amount. I think 10 is a good place to start for many people, and maybe as little as 5 drops, and then seeing what it begins to help you with. If it begins to affect whatever it is that you're taking it for, or maybe even some of the side effects are very beneficial, then you can begin messing around with either reducing the amount because you're getting what it is that you want and seeing where that bottom is. And then if it's not, and then increasing to the point where you're beginning to see a difference. And that's kind of how I'm reading this, because there's no directions on the bottle on how many drops to take, or even, how to take it. And there's not a lot of consistency between each one of the testimonials about what people are taking to get the result they're getting. So I think the trick is starting at an amount that's, I think, significant is a good way to put that, but not too much to where it makes you kind of sick because you're drinking, the bottle, right? We don't want that. But I think somewhere in that 5 to 10 drop range. And again, this is just me speaking from where I'm looking at this whole thing, to getting the effect that you're looking for, and then reducing it down so you don't have to take so much and spend as much money, right? I mean, that's one of the things. You don't want to overtake it and take too much where you're wasting your money, but you can reduce it down to where you're still getting the same results but taking less. I think that would be an important place to go. But if you're not seeing much of a change, I think before you quit taking it, I think I would increase the drops and see if that helps. And that's my advice as a non-scientist, as not necessarily an expert in CBD oil. That is just my advice as a common sense human being who's looking to help you with whatever's ailing you. All right. And again, you're gonna have to look for the disclaimer on this later on. Got it. All right, good. Matthew says you cannot overdose. Yeah, I think just take too much of anything. There's just like, well, I took too much of something. I remember when my daughter, Courtney, she ate when she was small, not when she was in her 20s, but when she was little, she ate a whole cube of butter and couldn't stand butter for a long time after that. So dropper or drops? Drops. Yes. Sorry. All right. So I have a meeting I got to go attend to, and I'm taking off right now. I might be a little bit late. So John North, if you're watching this right now, I'm leaving right now. I will see you there, and I'll probably get there right on time. But I have a really important meeting in LA that I got to go speak to somebody about, and it's a TV show that we're going to be doing, and it should be good. Maybe I'll do the TV show on CBD oil. Who knows? All right. So everybody, thank you for joining me. Rick, I hope I didn't spill too much on that story, then tell people that you got bit on the butt by my police dog and you didn't want people to know that. I hope that I should have asked first. Hey, but you said that that's the story. All right. That is it. I hope you're all well. If you have any questions, Matthew Adams and myself have kind of teamed up, right? And he's the answer man. I am not so much the answer man. I have kind of suggestions and things that have done for me. But when I'm struggling to answer the questions, then Matthew's my go-to guy. All right. So that's it for me. Bye, Christy. Miss you. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.